Good evening. Welcome to Star Talk. I'm Ken Eccles. Can you hear me? I hope you can. If so, somebody tell me you can hear me. We're happy to have you with us on the program tonight. We'd love to hear from you either by phone or by email. We have a phone line, what do we have? A phone number up there that you can call. We also have an email address that is keneckleslive@gmail.com. And so a phone call or an email would be nice if you'd like to take part in the program tonight. I apologize, I did not get the NASCAR standings mailed out today, and I'm sorry about that. I've had a very serious personal issue that I'm dealing with, but I will get those as soon as I have a good opportunity. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hey, Ken, it's Mark Marion.
Hey, Mark. How you doing?
Okay, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Yeah. Where's everybody at in the standings?
Well, hang on a second. You're probably wondering about yourself as much as anybody. You're in second place. You got 77 points behind Charles from Danville, who has 82. So you're 5 points behind.
So Charles is number one?
As right now, yes, 82 points, 5 ahead of you. You're in second.
Oh, okay. Well, where did Mr. Nice Guy gonna go? Me and him had the same car last time. I think we had the same. I think we picked the same one.
I don't think you did, Mark. Let's see. Yeah, you had the same car, and so you are, and he was ahead of you, so he's still ahead of you. So wait a minute, let's see where he is. 72. Yeah, I'm sorry, Mark. You are in third place. You're in third place.
Third place.
Nice Guy is in second place.
Okay. All right, thanks again.
Thanks for calling. As I say, I've been dealing with a personal issue, and I'm not quite as far into the process on this as I normally would be by this time. So I'm going to exhibit a little bit of confusion tonight concerning the standings, but I will get it all straightened out, and I will get them all mailed out. I'll get them in the email this evening, I hope, and if not this evening, I'll get them in the email by tomorrow morning. But please bear with me for this next little while. Please do, and I appreciate that. Phone line is open right now. There's the number on your screen. The email address is keneckleslive@gmail.com, and you can give us a call or send us an email, whichever works best for you. Obviously, I have good, strong audio tonight, which is a good thing. Kind of an improvement over Wednesday night, and we ran into some stuff, but we're not going to run into any stuff tonight. Kansas is our next race. I think we have a pick in already. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hey, Ken, I hate to call back in, but I was going to tell you, we want to take number 5 for the next race.
Okay, Mark has the 5 for Kansas. It's in the book, Mark. Thanks for calling.
Thanks.
Okay, and there are one or two others over here in email. Let me go and check on these. Mr. Leaksville here. Mr. Leaksville says, since I completely missed the boat at Bristol, I will have to pick Larson for this weekend. So let me write that down right now. Mr. Leaksville has the 5 for this weekend at Kansas. I hope I don't jinx him. I thought I would do well with the 24 at Bristol. Well, several people thought that. But as I was watching yesterday and making comments about how my driver was running next to last place, my wife did some research on Byron and Bristol. She told me not to be upset. She asked if I knew Byron had never led a lap at Bristol. I didn't know that. Never led a lap at Bristol. LOL. I guess I need to start researching. I could not believe he had never led a lap there. I had no idea. I never would have guessed that. Well, you weren't the only one who looking for good things from the 24, though, so don't be embarrassed. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hello, Ken. It's Ralph. How you doing, bud?
Doing fine, Ralph. How are you?
I take my pick for this weekend.
Okay, Ralph, who do you have for Kansas?
I think I'm going to take Ryan Blaney this time.
Ryan Blaney, the 12. Ralph has the 12 for Kansas. It's in the book, Ralph.
Okay, well, thank you, Ken, bud.
Thanks, Ralph. Appreciate it. 12 for Ralph. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Yes, Ken. I was calling. You're not on in Danville tonight.
Not on in Danville. Okay.
Yes,
and you watch on, is it Comcast?
Yes, sir. Comcast.
All right. Well, Martinsville, here's a caller watching on Comcast who says we're not on in Danville. If you have any interest in that. I'm sorry we're not on, but you're on. Anything you'd like to tell us?
Well, no, I'd wait till you be on tomorrow night.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thanks for
Thank you,
calling.
Ken.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, not on in Danville. Martinsville, if you want to take a look at that and see what you can figure out. This emailer says, Ken, is the 3-minute rule in effect? Yeah, it is. It's the 3-minute guideline rule. A rule just sounds so unfriendly. Let's call it the 3-minute guideline. If you're on the air, you're going to have 3 minutes. You can count on that. Once you get past 3 minutes, you really can't count on anything. If you're in the middle of saying something that you obviously need to finish, then you will get a little more than 3 minutes to finish what it is you need to say. But that being as it is, 3 minutes is our guideline for calls now. We're going to try that for a while and see how it works. As I sit here, I'm trying to figure out the standings in my scribbling. I know that Charles has 82 points, and he's in first place. That much is certain. Mark has 77. This is unofficial, folks. This is unofficial. I'll make it official soon, but I'm sorry, I haven't had time to really do this. Unofficially, Charles is in first place with 82 points. Mark has 77. Liberal has 74. Well, actually, Mark and Nature Boy are tied with 77. Then it's a Liberal with 74, Nice Guy with 72. It says, Mr. NASCAR with 66. He's tied with Citizen D with 66, tied in 7th place. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Well, good evening, Mr. Ken.
Good evening. Can you see us?
No, we don't see you in Danville tonight, but I'm going to go ahead and talk if I can.
You may talk. I promise you 3 minutes.
Oh well, I can wait a few minutes if you don't mind.
No, go right ahead. You got 3 minutes. Go ahead. Talk.
Oh well, I finished 4th yesterday.
Yes, you did, but you're still in first place.
Oh, I am?
82 points.
Oh, okay, 82 points. That's good. Let me see. What's the next race?
Kansas, the Oval in Kansas is next.
So this is a regular track, right?
A regular track, it is.
Let me see.
Let's
I'm going to make a.
see.
I'm going to pick an early driver.
You're going to pick an early driver?
Yes, I'm going to. I'll make my pick early for the next race.
All right, who is your pick?
He's coming to mind right now.
He's thinking.
Yeah, I'm lost in thought. I had a lot of things to do today, a lot of preparations to do. Charles tried to trick me today.
Charles Rourke tried to trick you?
Yeah, he tried to get information out of me.
What information did he try to get?
What do you think? My retirement information.
Oh, well, maybe we can get it. Tell us all about your retirement.
Well, I'll tell you tomorrow. But tomorrow. Well, the car I'm going with next week. You've already won the race Sunday. I'm going with the number Joe Gibbs number. I think it's 54.
54 is Ty Gibbs.
And you're still not on yet. They're showing some briefing a while back.
Who's briefing who?
The sheriff and the state police are talking about that guy who they cornered in the woods.
Oh, and is that Sam Page?
No, this is the other sheriff.
Oh, the other, not Rockingham County, Pennsylvania County, Henry County.
Yeah, he's kind of a heavy-set guy. I'm not going to call him I'm not going to use the FAT word.
Well, no, let's not use that word.
It might get a response.
You don't want a negative response from the sheriff.
No, not from him. But I hope y'all come on in a few minutes. But I will give you information tomorrow.
Okay.
But see, I'm not going to give everything to Charles.
Well,
He gets.
Who knows? Who knows what he would do with the information?
He'd leak it.
No, yeah. But, you just call up here and say it on television, and then nobody will find out about it.
That's true. But I hope to see you in a few minutes, sir.
I hope so. Thank you. Thanks for calling.
Bye, sir.
Okay, Charles, trying to get information from Charles. Charles versus Charles, the battle of the century. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Good evening, Ken.
Good evening. How are you?
Doing all right till I watched NASCAR yesterday.
Yeah, that was kind of ugly for the 24.
I'll tell you what, what's the chances of that? I mean, they changed the steering column in his car, so he had to start last.
Did you hear what I learned just now? He's never led a lap at Bristol.
I didn't know that. I really didn't.
Well, Mr. Leaksville said his wife looked it up yesterday because he had the 24.
Yeah.
He's never led a lap there. I had no idea.
Well, excuse me. Yeah, I didn't have any idea either, and I looked him up. See what his average finish was, And
Well, he's had some.
wasn't
good
that bad,
finishes.
but
He's had some
wasn't that
finishes.
yeah, wasn't that bad. But I didn't know he hadn't never led a lap.
No, I had no idea. I never would have guessed that.
Got you 2 laps down yesterday.
Well,
I think Hendricks has got to do something against me because I picked Larson one week and he'll fall to the rear, and I picked next week 24 he'll fall to the rear. So they got a plot against me.
it's almost like they are working against you. It really looks that way.
Yeah, they are. I can't understand the Hendricks cars though because one can run up front and the other 2 can't run.
And that's crazy because that they've all got the same information.
Yeah, the same parts.
It's just, it's just luck, I guess. It's either luck or it's rigged. I'll go with luck. I'd rather go with luck than go with rigged.
Well, I think it's bad luck.
Yeah, it is bad luck.
Yeah.
But they'll get there.
I want to pick Chase Elliott this week.
All right, Mr. Draper has the 9. for Kansas, and that's in the book.
I don't even want to know where I'm at because I don't want to get any more depressed
No,
about
you
it.
don't want to. You don't want to know. Believe me, you don't want to.
I know it. I know it. I know it. I know it. I'll hear it in a little bit.
All right.
Have a good night, kid.
Thanks. Okay, Mr. Draper, who is in a position not to be mentioned in the standings, takes the number 9, Chase Elliott, for Bristol. So Mark has the 5, Mr. Leaksville has the 5, Ralph has the 12, Charles has the 54, and Mr. Draper has the 9 for Kansas. This emailer says, hey, Ken, while we're talking about who we want, wait a minute. While we're talking about who we want to pick and who did what, let's congratulate Ty Gibbs on his first win. It's been a long time coming. He's been close, and now he gets one. And he really had to drive hard to hold off the 12 there in the last lap, and then in an overtime, which I thought that overtime might actually be the thing that cost him the win. But good for Ty Gibbs. He's now won one, and his grandpa was really proud. Oh, his grandpa. His grandpa was real proud yesterday. So was his mother, his grandpa and his mother, and he himself, very proud of that finish yesterday. And that's the first I expect of quite a few that Ty Gibbs is going to win before it's all done. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hey, Ken, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, Early Bird. How are you?
Well, I was just checking to see how I'm standing.
Okay, well, you're not real bad. Hang on a second. It's all scribbled down here, and I tell you the truth, I'm having trouble reading it. Well, you'd slipped out of the top 10. You're number 11 now, but you're 2 points. Number 11, you're 2 points behind 10th place. You got 54. You're 1 point behind 10th place.
Yeah. Where they racing it next week?
Back on a regular oval at Kansas next week.
Oval. Is that ain't a road course, is it?
No, that's just a regular racetrack.
Yeah. Is that a big one?
It's a mile and a half, I think it is.
Mile and a half. Well, I'm gonna let's see here. I think I'm gonna take Kyle Lawson.
Number 5. Early Bird has the 5 for Kansas. All right, it's in the book.
Okay, Ken. Thank you a whole lot. You have a good night.
Thanks for calling. I think Kansas is a mile and somebody look up Kansas. I think it's a mile and a half. I don't think it's 2 miles, is it? Obviously, I don't know. But my guess is Kansas is a mile and a half, and somebody will call me to let me know that that's wrong, or email me to let me know that that's wrong, I'm sure, in just a minute or two. Here's an email. Well, there's this one again. Ken, I emailed you 2 weeks ago, says the email. Emailed you 2 weeks ago and told you about my sister and I who do this thing where I put on my trick-or-treat monkey costume and eat a candy cigar while she dresses up like Dora the Explorer and tries to do somersaults while I do that. We'll all picture that in our minds. That must be really fun to watch. And we asked you if we could come in and do this on your show. And you said you didn't have room in there for us to come in and do it, and you asked us to do a video of it and send it to you. Well, we have done a video of this, and we think it looks really good. And what we want to know is, do we have to pay money to get it on TV? No, you don't have to pay any money. You don't have to pay any money at all to get that on TV. That probably, if you ever send me the video, that in all probability will be the best thing that we've ever had on this show. As I sit here, I cannot immediately think of anything we've done that I would consider better than that. So no, it's if you don't have to pay any money at all. Just when you get the video done, or if you have the video or whatever, just send me the video, and we will see what happens with that, because it sounds like a really good act to me. So I'll look forward to getting that video if you can supply it. Hello, caller, you're on the air. And yet you are watching me, aren't you?
Well, that's because I can't find a monkey man eating a cigar on no other channel.
Try C-SPAN.
That's real funny. It looks like you may got but one set of clothes. I give to Goodwill and hold some out for you if you want me to.
Won't work, because you're 65 in the waist.
You say my waist is bigger than yours? That's my IQ.
Oh, your IQ is 65.
Phone, you idiot.
I'm not on your phone. You're on my phone. But not anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, Pretty Man, please hold your applause until the end of the program. Thank you. Thank you. Phone line is open. There's a number up there that you can call. You can also email us at keneckleslive@gmail.com. That's our email address. We'd love to hear from you either way on this edition of Star Talk. Here is the Lady in Black. The Lady in Black says, "Hi, Ken. I didn't have a real good day at Bristol yesterday either, but I plan to bounce back at Kansas. So please, for the race at Kansas, give me the number 24, okay?" Lady in Black is betting on a bounce back from the 24 at Kansas. So that's in the book. Thank you very much. And this emailer says, "Ken, you said you had to change your name a lot when you were on the radio. Do the radio stations make you change your name, or do you change your name because you want to?" I've always been curious about that. Can you explain? Yeah, in a minute. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
How you doing tonight, Kent?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. I didn't get to make a pick for last weekend's race, yesterday's race.
I know.
So I think the way the rule is written, it's automatically get to 54 in a situation like that. Is that true or not?
That's not exactly what it says. It's similar to that. What it says is we go back 2 weeks and we pick whoever you picked 2 weeks ago. That's kind of like getting the 54 automatically, but it's not quite, is it?
Not exactly. So who did I pick yesterday, since we're going by that rule?
You ended up with no. You ended up with the 24.
Oh, I did?
Yeah. That's not
looking too good, right?
No, that's not looking. But it's not just you. Whole lot of people had the 24 yesterday. So you're not alone in that, and that ended you up in 15th place.
Oh, Lord. Well, I guess I'm totally on the bottom, right?
No, you're not on the bottom. Who Who is totally on the
Oh,
Chat GPT is totally on the bottom.
Okay. All right, write me down for the 19 this coming week, if you would.
All right. Mr. Pelham has the 19 for Kansas. It's in the book.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, this race of the season, Ken, is really been an odd win situation. I mean, you got one driver that runs 3 or 4 races in a row, and then Ty Gibb comes up and gets his first win. I mean, it's like a roll of the dice this year, you know?
It is, especially with the Hendrick. I mean, the Hendrick cars are just not up to their usual level this year for some reason.
Yeah, I probably won't, lose a whole lot of sleep over that choice, but, I don't care for the Hendrick team.
I don't think anybody feels sorry for the Hendrick stable.
Not at all. Speaking of losers, did you see where Trump endorsed Viktor Orban in Hungary? See how that worked out for him?
Well, Mr. Orban apparently is out of power by all appearances. J.D. Vance actually went there and campaigned for him, but I think the folks in Hungary they're not hungry for any more of Mr. Orban.
No, after 16 years, no, I don't think I'd want any more of him either. But, not only him, Rubio and Donald Trump Jr., all those people were, just thinking he was the best thing since sliced bread. But I think that's going to be an indication of how it's going to happen in November here, kid. What do you think?
Wouldn't even guess at that. I have no idea. We'll see. Yep.
Well, with the price of gas going up every day, I don't see where it's going to get a whole lot better for him. And he comes out with these threats. We're going to annihilate the whole country, and even his own party's turning against him on that kind of rhetoric, kid. I mean, that's just I never heard anybody in the White House belittle people as much as he has. But his day's coming too.
Well, speaking of gas, I'm supposed to. One guy wants me to say this at the start of the show every day, and I forgot. The average price of gas today, according to AAA, is $4.13.
Okay.
That's actually down 3 cents from the high last week.
That's true, but since this strait's not going to be opened up anytime soon, I don't think it's going to head south anytime soon either, Ken.
Well, we'll see. There's still a lot of complications in the strait.
Yep. All right, Ken. Thanks for taking my call, man. I really enjoy your show.
Well, thanks for calling. Good to hear from you. So, Mr. Pelham has the 19 for Kansas, along with Lady in Black, the 24, Early Bird, the 5, Mr. Draper, the 9, Charles, the 54, Ralph, the 12, Mr. Leaksville, the 5, and Mark, the 5. What was that other question somebody asked me? Let me take a look because I forgot. What was that other question? Oh, do they make you change your name in radio? Well, I only had one station that made me change my name. The other times I've changed my name, I did it voluntarily. Normally, they don't. Sometimes they do. One station made me change my name because they said my last name was hard to spell. Echols. I mean, to me, it's just not that hard to spell. I've been spelling it all my life, but they didn't want me to use my Eccles because they said it was too hard to spell. So why would they care, you wonder, if it's too hard to spell? It used to be, and it isn't exactly the same way now, it used to be that when they compiled the ratings for radio stations, who's got the most listeners and all that, that was based on paper diaries that a company called Arbitron would mail out to people, and people would take pens and pencils, old-fashioned things like writing implements, and they would write down in that paper diary what they were listening to at whatever time of day. And sometimes if they knew the call letters of the station, they'd write the call letters, or if they knew the nickname of the station, like, 102 the nose, they would write down the nose, or sometimes they would write down the name of the jock who was on the air. And so this radio station was worried that, first of all, in the unlikely event that anybody would actually be listening while I was on the air, and if they wanted to write down my name in the diary, they were afraid that the listener would not know how to spell it, and that if they spelled it wrong, we wouldn't get credit for it in the Arbitron book. So that's why they made me change that name, because they thought it was hard to spell. Which I think says maybe more about their intelligence than anything else. You know, for some people, cat is hard to spell. Maybe radio, you run into a lot of folks like that. And then that was the deal here. Well, we can't spell that. You can't use that. But the other times I changed my name, I just did it because I wanted to. And I guess to some extent, because when you work at one station for a while, by the time you finish, you have such an awful reputation, and people think so ill of you that when you go to another station, you try, maybe I can make them think I'm somebody else. So I'll use a different name over there. So that's sort of how all that works. I hope you're not asking that because you're planning to go into radio. I hope. There's a phone line up there. You can give us a call at that number, or you can send us an email to keneckleslive@gmail.com. This one says, Ken, how come Taiwan has such a stranglehold on the market for these artificial intelligence chips? All I hear on the news all the time is Taiwan is where the chips come from, and we don't make the chips anywhere except Taiwan. It's this little island out there close to China. What is the deal with Taiwan and chips? Well, you know, Taiwan made a commitment a long time ago, decades ago, that they wanted to become, if they could, the world leader in the manufacture, not necessarily the design, but the manufacture of high-grade chips. And the government got involved and invested a lot of money in it, and on and on and on. So what it has come down to in Taiwan, they have a collection of companies who are really good at doing this because they've been doing it for a long time. And they have manufacturers, they have engineering companies, they have developmental labs that are all right there close together, and they talk to each other, and they feed off each other, and they exchange information and ideas to some extent. And they all sort of boost each other in finding better and better and more efficient ways to make these chips. Now, they don't necessarily design them all. They do design some chips, but in many cases, the chips are designed somewhere else, and then Taiwan makes them because they are more efficient at it right now than anybody else. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hey, Ken, it's Ralph. Somebody asked me, they said next time he called in, ask him.
What is it?
Ask him, did he ever work?
Moon Mullins at Moon's Dance Land. Did I ever work? I worked for Moon Mullins when he owned a radio station. I never worked at Moon's Dance Land, but I worked for him.
No, that's what they're talking about. Oh, he'll 29.
Yeah, the radio station. I did work there, yes. Thanks, Ralph. If you were having trouble hearing Ralph, the question was, did I ever work for Moon Mullins, who owned Moon's Dance Land? And I did, as Moon Mullins owned WREV Radio. Now, this was a few years back. This was not the other day. Moon he bought WREV radio in the 70s, and I worked for Moon right there on Highway 29 at WREV. In fact, we started out there was a cinder block building there where it was originally, and then they moved it next door to a house. Moon bought a house, him and his partner, he had a couple of partners. They bought a house next door to the radio station to move over there. And I painted that house, not by myself, me and my friend David Smith, who recently passed away. We painted that house and then moved the radio station into it. I forget how much we made. The money we made painting that house, we each bought us a new bowling ball. And we were high on the hog in those days, had brand new bowling balls. And yeah, that's what I did. I worked for Moon Mullins at WREV. That was my first job. The first paying job I ever had was at WREV. Now, when I went to work there, Moon didn't own it. He bought it after I had gone to work there. So that was not only my first paying job, that's where I met my wife. He hired my wife to do sales there. And I walked into work one morning and walked through the little office there, and there sat this blonde woman. And now she's downstairs, right here in this very house. In a little while, when I'm not on the air, if she'll come up here and open this door and remind me of what she was expecting me to do today that I didn't do. So we'll go through that tonight. When we met at WREV, though, we had more pleasant conversations than the one we're going to have in about 15 minutes, because I flat forgot to do today what she was expecting me to do. Anyhow, yeah, Ralph, I did. So we'll just let that go right there where it is. As far as Taiwan goes, as I say, they are really good at manufacturing these chips. They have just kind of a closed ecosystem there, if you want to call it that. They've got everything that's needed there for the incredibly efficient manufacture of these chips. Many of them designed, maybe most of them designed elsewhere, but they send the designs to Taiwan and they say, make these. Well, why don't they make this? If a chip is designed in California, this would be, the emailer didn't ask this question, but it would be a reasonable next question. If a chip is designed in California, why don't they make it in California? One thing is cost. They make it cheaper in Taiwan. And another thing is just, again, that sort of that closed ecosystem that they have in Taiwan, where they have gotten so good at it. They are so efficient at it. There have been several studies done, and they've measured the faults, the problems that occur with chips made in Taiwan. And they've compared them to the problems and the difficulties with chips made elsewhere. And in every one of those studies in Taiwan, they make them a whole lot better. So that's why that is right now. Is that going to become a strategic issue at some point? Again, emailer didn't ask that, but that's a logical next question. And oh yes, it is going to become a strategic issue at some point because, as I'm sure you know, China would love to take possession of Taiwan and everything that happens on Taiwan. And sooner or later, they're probably going to make a serious effort to do that. So stay tuned to see what happens in Taiwan. We got just a few minutes left for your phone calls and emails. And before my wife comes in here and scolds me, we have phone line open right there at that number. The email address is KenEcclesLive@gmail.com. And I'd love to hear from you. either way, by phone or by email. Here's another one about radio. I don't know why we have radio on our minds tonight. I certainly didn't have it on mine. Ken, is it true that when you were on the radio in Greensboro, now we're going to Greensboro, is it true when you were on the radio in Greensboro, you had to interview a clown one day on the air, and the clown couldn't talk? Oh, gosh. How, emailer, who are you, and how in the world do you know about that? You've got to send me another email. So if you don't have to, you don't have to tell me who you are if you don't want to. But I want to know how on earth you would know about that. Yeah, once when Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus, remember that? Used to be a thing. Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus came to town, and I was supposed to interview one of their clowns. And hello, caller, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Yes, Ken. Let me know. I'm just letting you know where I stand in a rundown of the top 5.
Hey, hang on. I'm not going to count your time while I look this up.
All right.
You are tied for fifth place. You are
Okay.
8 points from the top.
All right. And that 8 is a total of what? What's the number? What's the total?
82 to 74.
Okay. 82 to 74. All right. And tell me who's ahead of me, please.
That is Charles from Danville, has the 82 points. Mark from Mayodan has 77. Nature Boy has 77, and Captain Midnight has 75.
And Midnight got 75.
Yep.
Okay, all right then. Okay, now start the clock.
Oh, yeah, clock's running.
All right, Ken. All right, Ken. Gonna have to stop it at the end. I mean, just give me your responses at the end. What do you think will happen if America tried to blockade ships from China and Russia, and what about North Korea? Cut the clock off.
All right. What would happen? You know, I don't know. I think that's a question a lot of people are wondering about. We haven't come to that yet. Now, what the blockade is, it's a blockade of ships that are planning to use Iranian ports. That's how it's being described. Suppose a ship from China comes to the Strait of Hormuz, and they plan to dock at an Iranian port and take oil or whatever from Iran and then leave.
Right.
What the president tells us is China would not be allowed to do that. I mean, no one would be allowed to go in there and use an Iranian port. Now, it hasn't happened yet. So what I expect would happen is, here's what I think would happen. I think that the Chinese would issue statements about how outrageous it is and how the United States has no right to do that. And then I think the Chinese ship would probably turn around and leave this time. Now, would that happen repeatedly? Would the situation stay the same repeatedly? I don't know. But I think if it happens tomorrow, say, I think the Chinese will express their displeasure and then they'll leave and they won't try to break the blockade. That's what I think will happen at least the first time.
Okay. All right then, but look, now, with the expenses that we incurring over here from the blockade and all like that is really hurting the American people. So what is no changes whether the Iranian has the Strait blocked or whether Americans and whether we have it blocked. We are going to experience the same results over here in America as consumers, correct?
Well, as long as the strait is not open normally, as long as
Right.
there's any kind of blockage in the Strait of Hormuz, it's going to have an economic effect. So yeah, I mean, there'll be an economic effect and a negative one until and unless the strait is wide open again, whenever that happens.
Oh, yeah, okay, we got a mess on our hands. But one thing, and now closing, Trump lawsuit against Fox News on, what's his name, on the New York newspaper and Fox News.
What's
What's
his
that guy name?
Rupert Murdoch?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rupert Murdoch. Yeah, Trump lawsuit against Rupert Murdoch for Fox News was dismissed by a judge today. So that's another waste of time and another loss. And
Okay.
so, all right, well, I enjoyed your show, and thanks for your time.
Well, thanks for calling. Good to hear from you. Not too much time left here, just 4 or 5 minutes. My wife may actually be out there in the hall even as we speak. Phone line is open, and there's the number. The email address is keneccleslive@gmail.com. And I'd like to kind of forget about answering the clown question, but they'll probably just ask it again. Yeah, I was supposed to interview this clown from Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey's Circus. So they sent me the clown, but they didn't tell me that the clown was a clown who doesn't speak. I mean, he had the ability to speak. The man could talk, but in his persona as the clown, he did not speak. And so when he came in for the interview, he was in his persona of the clown, and he did not speak. He did not speak. And I didn't know that until we started the interview, and I asked him a question, whatever the question was, and he just sat there. Ask him another question, and he sits there. Then the third question I asked him was, "Do you talk?" And he goes. And I had to do 10 minutes. The thing was scheduled for I had to do 10 minutes with a clown who didn't speak. That's what I had to do. That's one of the reasons you use a phony name. Is you don't want people to know who you are. When you have to go through awful, embarrassing, humiliating things like that, you don't want people to see you on the street and know that that's what you do for a living, and that you do that kind of thing. Yeah, emailer, that happened. Oh, wait, hang on. I'm hearing from the emailer again now. Don't say who I am. Okay, I won't. All right, now I understand how the emailer knew about that. An emailer, never speak of that again. I'm serious. Never, ever speak of that again. Thank you for never speaking of that again. Ken, are they ever going to open the Settles Bridge again? The Settles Road Bridge. I didn't know the Settles. The bridge on the. You mean the bridge on the road on the Settles Road over the Dan River? I didn't know it was closed. Is it closed? I don't know what to say about that. Are you sure? You're naming the right bridge? Because if you're talking about the Settles Road Bridge over the Dan River, I'm not aware that bridge is closed. So obviously, if I'm not aware that it's closed, I wouldn't be aware whether or not they're going to open it again. So I don't know what to say about it. Give it some thought, emailer, and make sure you're talking about the right bridge, and then let me know, because as far as I know, that bridge is not closed. Or maybe it is closed, and I don't even know about it. If it's closed and somebody knows when it's going to open, let me know. But I'll just have to leave that at that. Ken, what is this Leandra decision about the schools that the North Carolina Supreme Court just overturned? And a lot of people are mad about it. Can you explain that to me? Yeah, kinda. The Leandro decision is what it is. That was a ruling that the North Carolina Supreme Court made decades ago. I don't know how many decades, probably back in the 90s. The North Carolina Supreme Court ruled that the General Assembly was not sending enough education funding, was not sending enough school funding to poor counties. The poorer counties who didn't have as much money to spend on their schools. And the court reasoned at that time that the Constitution of North Carolina guarantees every child a quality education. And a group of poor counties with low populations and low tax bases sued, saying we cannot really afford to give kids a quality education here as the Constitution requires, because we don't have enough money. And the General Assembly's responsibility is to increase funding to us, the low dollar counties, so that we can give kids a quality education. So that's what the ruling was back in the 90s, the Leandro decision. And after that, the General Assembly had to increase funding to these counties, and I can't remember, the Hoke County was one of them. I can't name all of them, but they were counties with very low populations and very low tax bases. So for all these years since, the General Assembly has had to provide more funding for them, for their schools, because there's so many things they said they couldn't afford to do because they didn't have the tax base for it. Well, somebody else sued and got to the North Carolina Supreme Court. Some of the wealthier counties sued and got to the North Carolina Supreme Court last year, and last week. And the Supreme Court reversed the Leandro decision and says now the General Assembly no longer has to provide additional funding for poor counties to improve the quality of their schools. The Supreme Court says it is up to the General Assembly to decide that, and the court will not be the place to decide that. So basically, that's the Leandro ruling, that the state no longer has to make an extra effort in poorer counties to provide them with money for their schools. And that is all the time we have for Star Talk tonight. We're on the air Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. I hope you'll join us next time. Thanks for watching. I'm Ken Eccles.